So, here's a little get ready with me, but not the same kind that you might be used to because I'm getting my breakfast ready. I have a migraine and I'm feeling very vulnerable. I have been sitting in an existential crisis for a bit, and I didn't think that I was going to come back to the Spiritpreneur portal because um, genuinely I just started it because I wanted to make sure that people knew that they're not alone if they're trying to be spiritual entrepreneurs, helping people in the world. And what I've realized is that it wasn't just about helping other people, it was about sort of documenting my own journey. And my journey kind of ended recently. It was less than a year ago that I got another job. I got a corporate job and stopped working on this year thing, Be for Vibrant, the most beautiful thing, one of the most beautiful things that I've ever created and I've ever worked on. And I'll spare the details of why I'm back, but now that I am back, uh, okay, I'll spare one fewer detail. And now that I'm back, because I'm certain now that the corporate life is not for me, and that I just simply cannot. Now that I'm back, and I'm more certain than ever that like this is what I need to be doing because I've gone back out into the world and you know seen for myself just how poorly neurodivergent people are treated out there. And also, hang on, I have to get a paper towel. And also, um, like how little I feel like I'm able to contribute when I'm being authentic and when I'm being my full self, um, which is one of the most important things for autistic people. Like we once we're unmasked, you know, that the cat can't go back in the box or the bag. You know, the beans have been spilt and there's no use crying. Um, so I found out that that I simply could not, which is why so many autistic and ADHD people become entrepreneurs. And here you are. If you are an entrepreneur who considers yourself a spirit-driven person, and your your whole identity is sort of wrapped around your value system, like everything you do is really because of the fact that like you're listening to your values and you're aligning with them on a consistent basis as though your life depends on it, as though like you know nothing else is quite as important, um, then hello and welcome to the Spiritpreneur portal. I would like to you know, having come back to the portal that I'm creating for myself and for my community, I would like to um, sort of create community here amongst people who are doing the same thing, and kind kind of document my journey again, because I really feel like every time I've been honest about where I'm at and what I'm doing and what I'm not doing, what I'm struggling to do, other people have benefited. So here we are yet again. The thing that I want to share with y'all is where I was in my existential crisis, because that totally relates to what I was saying about um, like the ADHD autism crossover. I didn't realize how impactful it would be and how necessary it would be for me to align with my values. And I mean, when I say it out loud, it sounds really stupid, funny, that I wouldn't realize how important it was to align with my values. Um, but also I didn't know. I didn't realize that I like couldn't just put them on hold, and I couldn't just put them on the back burner um, by going and, you know, working a corporate jobs actually, because I worked at a few over the course of um, the past year. I worked at 3, and I quit one within the span of 4 days because they wanted me to work 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., sometimes until 10 p.m. And I was like, what do you mean? And also 7 days a week. So I got the fuck out of there. But it was because like I was already on that sort of trajectory away from the corporate expectation that you leave your values aside and you just do whatever you're told. So like coming back into V for Vibrant, um, the business that I created for myself and for, you know, the elevation and the celebration of all of my gifts and the things that I do well, all of my gifts and strengths and skills. Coming back into that, I don't have anybody who's in charge of me but me anymore. And that can be one of the most daunting things as a neurodivergent person, is like, who's going to tell me what to do? The um, the autistic in me needs structure, but the ADHDer in me needs freedom. And I'll even go so far as to like name um, some astrological aspects of that, because like I'm a Pisces sun and a Virgo moon. So while my default is to be creative and sort of zoomed out on like the whole life perspective aspect, where I'm able to see things from a distance and from like the from a place of wisdom and understanding like everything having its place and then creating from that space. I also have the Virgo who's kind of like, you know, in their midlife crisis, constantly in their midlife crisis. But it's not even midlife, it's quarter life. It's a quarter life crisis. And is always looking for the results. Like, you know, the crisis comes from not seeing things happen soon enough, or you know, good enough. There's just this sort of like sense of not enoughness. And um, I've started to have that sort of like existential quandary playing out in my life for the past week or two of like, if I am creating things for other people, and like to the highest degree, I'm creating things for myself, and I'm creating things because I enjoy creating them and because I think they're necessary, but also like if they're not being shared and enjoyed by other people and with other people, it feels very much, what's the point of it all for me? Which is a really difficult place to be, because then I'm sort of gaslighting myself and getting to that space where it's like, what's the point? Why am I doing this if um, there's nobody else around to like celebrate all of these sort of peaks and valleys with me and to like ride the roller coaster next to me screaming? That's what I want. That's what I want in community. That's what I want from my community. Like I feel the um, just the extreme desire to be at the amusement park with everybody else and be riding the rides together. So it's like, when I feel like there's maybe 2 or 3 people who have joined me on the journey, I'm like, wow, this is very cool. Where's everybody else? Why didn't they get the invitation? Why didn't they get the message? Where are they? Where's everybody? I start to get this sense of like, why am I even doing this? And is it even worth it? So before, when I was creating for the Spiritpreneur portal, what I didn't realize was that my ADHD autism is affecting me so righteously, like so intensely. And now I'm much more aware of how it affects me, because I've, not only taken time to unmask in the probably a couple of years since I created content for this, specifically for the Spiritpreneur portal, but also like I have exposed my unmasked self to the corporate world since then. And that obviously didn't go over well because I'm back. So I'm so I'm finding that it feels more and more necessary to talk about this journey in relation to my ADHD autism spectrum and that component of my nature. It it has been hard for me as an ADHD person to want to go things full throttle, and as soon as I get an idea, to just launch it now and be completely on top of the thing that feels creatively aligned for me. And then the autistic in me is like, yeah, but we need a schedule, and we need a routine, we need some kind of structure, or else, like it's not going to, we're not going to follow through. And I do it anyway, and lo and behold, I need the structure. Lo and behold, I didn't give anybody else the opportunity to come and join me on the thing. So when push comes to shove, after I've invested myself in creating something for the world, on behalf of like my soul's yearning to speak about something, to teach about something, I also end up with this sort of paranoia that it was pointless, and that I didn't do it right, and that there was like, yeah, like no reason for me to have moved so quickly from that place of excitement and enthusiasm, because look where it got me. It didn't get me, more connected with other people. It just got me feeling like I've done all this work and nobody's seeing it. Like I've done all this work and it's not generating some sort of benefit. So I wanted to just create this video from a place of, like I said, vulnerability, and wanting to share that existential dread is there not because what I'm doing and what you might be doing, if you're experiencing this too, is worthless, but because autistic and ADHD people, if that is you, fully need to align with their values, fully need to align with what is important to them, and then kind of stay in their own little bubble, stay in that bubble of excitement, not keep looking around for other people to come and pat us on the head and tell us, what good girls we are. Because at the end of the day, the creations that our souls scream out to us to create are things that need our love and attention and energy unconditionally, regardless of how other people feel about them, regardless of how other people perceive them or receive them. We need to just keep existing in the reality that we're creating with our efforts, as opposed to going and cultivating all this magic in the 5D, in like another realm that like bleeds into this one, and then hopping back into the 3D, just this material world where like capitalism still exists and we've got bills to pay and shit, and going, did it work? Did it work? That's, I think, where my existential dread comes from, and I'm starting to honor that my ADHD autism isn't something that I need to curb, and that I need to and that I need to I'm talking myself through this as well. I hope you know that whenever I'm recording for the spiritpreneur portal, that I'm also verbally processing, because that's what ADHD autistic people need to do as well. So I'm hoping that as you hear me verbally processing things out loud, you not only understand that I'm doing it for myself, but you also take it as a sign that this is something that you might need to, or that like hearing somebody else's thought process and even showing your own thought process in the work that you do is going to help somebody else. My ADHD autism are not things that I need to control and seek outcomes for their effectiveness or their goodness or their productivity. they are good because they are creating the world that can be imagined and designed and executed at a really, really high level when I believe in myself, when I value what I value, when I respect what I value, when I respect my values, and when I acknowledge that everything I create in that ADHD autistic sort of like weaving of my imagination with what I can do and what I can accomplish in the material realm and in the context of fucking social media and Patreon and all of these other paths, when I create in that space, the ripples that come out from that are not going to be things that I see immediately, but are going to be things that I just need to have faith in and need to trust. Because when my actions are grounded in my values, are grounded in the value of compassion, the value of respect, the value of integrity, the value of vulnerability, the value of authenticity, the value of trusting that when people are faced with new information and it makes them feel things and suddenly their body releases and they feel relief and they go, whoa, that's a new belief that I hadn't thought of before, but something feels different in me. Something has changed in me. when I do all things from those values, there is inherent goodness, and the results are unnecessary for me to go looking for and go seeking. Because not only are there signs that are like real small, like little breadcrumbs of signs that are like, hey, this is working. Hey, you're doing great. Hey, this is awesome. That I'm like not giving enough credit to. Because I'm like looking for, this is a big thing. This is like this big creation that I've created. And so something equal and opposite needs to happen in response to it. Instead of looking for that, I need to just go, oh, I'm seeing like little tiny ripples, and I know like the little breadcrumbs of signs that this is a good thing, and I will treat those as tiny ripples in the water, knowing that the farther away from me that they get, the less I will see them, the less I will see their effects, and the greater those ripples will become, and the more that they will increase into like these big giant waves. That's what I trust my creations to do. That's what I trust all of the things that I put effort into to do. And that's what I need to trust. That's what I need. I need to have faith in as I just tap on my third eye and go, you need to trust in your own vision, Kellyanne. I'm gonna eat my toast now. My loaded avocado toast, my half my open face sandwiches essentially. And I'm going to leave with an invitation. I'm going to invite y'all to go into the comments and just free write. Just free write on this prompt, this question. And this is an invitation, so you don't have to accept it, but I hope that you do. I hope that you consider this for yourself, and also consider that how I love to read it and how I'd love to connect with you about this. Like I said, this is for me to like track my progress, but also I want to connect with other spiritpreneurs. I want to connect with other people who have the ADHD autism crossover that they feel like maybe isn't the superpower that they're being told it is. Maybe isn't the easiest thing to manage. And maybe you're realizing, I don't need to be managed. I need to be free to fully embrace all of the best qualities and strengths that come from the way that my brain just naturally is, the way that I just naturally am, because who I naturally am is inherently good. Over here. Just to protect my partner's privacy. So the invitation is this. I invite you to free write on the last time that you created something in a whirlwind of enthusiasm and then had that sort of bummed out withdrawal effect after, when it felt like it didn't net you the results that you were hoping for. When was the last time that happened? What were you excited about? What were you hoping would happen? What were the results that you were hoping for? And why do you think you got so bummed by not seeing those results? What about it bummed you out? And anything else that you might want to free write based on this video. I mean, if you just want to take this as an invitation, everything lit, yay. If you just want to take this as an invitation to sort of process some of your own thoughts that came up from this and you don't want to take the prompt at all, great, cool. But I hope that you treat this as just a, you've already watched this far. Just take another 2 to 5 minutes. My invisible watch. Just take another 2 to 5 minutes to consider how encountering this message at the time that you did, right now, was done for a reason, like synchronized for a reason. Why do you think you needed this message? What about it? What about it triggered something for you and shifted something for you? I would love to hear about it. I love you so much. You're deserving of all the love you desire. You're deserving of all of the self-trust and self-respect that you desire. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Baby.